Hello all, and welcome to the discovery and genome annotation of new Streptomyces bacteriophages, Bogota and Kenrey. The hosts that we were able to use for these lovely bacteriophages are going to be Streptomyces griseus. All right. Bacteriophages, most commonly known as phages, are going to be something that we're looking into for future biomedical advancement. These little viruses are able to infect specific bacteria that we might want to target as humans. Because bacteria are building antibiotic resistance, we believe that these phages are going to be able to keep up with those resistances as they have for millennia and continue on doing so. All right, so let's go ahead and begin in our annotation. So the first gene that we were able to annotate is going to be Kenrey. Kenrey's closest relatives, MN1919, and both of these phages are going to be from our cluster BK1, which is a subcluster of the BK cluster. All right, so let's go ahead and look at that genome size. For the genome size of Kenrey, it's going to be 129,554 base pairs long. For MN1919, though, it's 128,076 base pairs. That tRNA for both of these guys is going to be 35 for Kenrey and 36 for MN1919. The GC content being 47% for Kenrey and 47.4% for MN1919. So for plaque description for Kenrey, as you'll see here in a second, we're looking at that clear circular shape and a small diameter of about 0.2 millimeters. MN1919 is not included on this poster. However, from what we were able to gather from a photo, it is a bit blurry and circular, but we were not able to get a diameter. So as you can see, here are going to be Kenrey's plaques. They are that small size, circular, and clear. This is also going to be Kenrey here on the left, and its restriction digest from enzymes. This is going to be cut DNA from specific enzymes that cut at specific places per cluster. And this is pretty characteristic for the BK1 subcluster. So the character of those genome ends for Kenrey and MN1919 are both going to have that direct terminal repeat of 766 base pairs. Kenrey is going to have 278 protein encoding genes, and MN1919 we were not able to see how many. Here is the annotation for all of Kenrey on the bottom here, and then MN1919 right here. These phages are very similar in how many genes they have, which is why they're considered to be the most similar phages to each other. All right, for our next phage that we were able to annotate, that's going to be Bogota. Bogota's closest relative is going to be UNTPL. Both are going to be from cluster BH. So Bogota's genome size is going to be about 54,184 base pairs, while UNTPL is going to be 54,495 base pairs. They both have no tRNA, and their GC contents are both 68.3%. The plaque descriptions for Bogota, as you're going to see here in a second, is going to be clear and round, typically less or equal to a millimeter in size. UNTPL is going to be clear and round, but we have had no diameter provided. So let me go ahead and go over here so that way we're able to see. This is going to be Bogota's plaques. They are interesting. I find them fascinating, and they are just interesting as is. They do have that clear and round, and they do have that much larger aspect than we could see in Kenrey up here. Bogota has circularly permuted genome ends and has 82 protein encoding genes. UNTPL also is circularly permuted and has 81 coding genes. So if we go over here, this is going to be, in comparison to Kenrey, right here is going to be UNTPL, and up here is going to be Bogota. And as you can see, these phages are also incredibly similar. All right, so let's move on to something called the slippery sequence. This was something found in Kenrey, specifically in the tail assembly chaperone protein. And this is going to be basically whenever DNA is read, it's read in codons. However, one time it's a frame shift from a base pair, one base pair back, and it has the entire line change. This is something we've commonly seen more recently from our BK1 subcluster. So it's interesting that we find it in here. All right, well, thank you guys so much for attending this discovery and genome annotation of Streptomyces bacteriophages, Bogota and Kenrey. I hope you enjoyed. This information is vitally important for the future, and I'm thankful that I'm able to be a part of it along with my team.